Hey, so in this video I want to talk a little bit about the pathologization of our gifts in society. So I have a lot of people who pathologize my gifts. A lot of people tell me that my gifts for analysis are overthinking, or all these other labels. And you can choose to agree with those opinions, that I'm just overthinking, that there's something wrong with me, that I have a disorder, whatever. You can choose to agree with that. But I'd like to invite you to share a new perspective with me, a perspective of self-love and how I view myself and my gifts and who I am. So, I'm a projector in human design, and what that means is that I have a gift for seeing systems and creating solutions to better society. That's what a projector is. I can see the problems and create solutions for them. And this is my gift of analysis, right? I can think a lot and see all of these complex things, and to some that looks like overthinking. But the way that I see it in myself is that this is my unique talent that allows me to offer something beautiful to the world. And I share this with you because you have unique talents that allow you to offer something beautiful to the world. And, you know, if society has a pattern of pathologizing gifts and labeling our gifts and our talents as wrong, the individual, our strengths as individuals. If society has a pattern of that, are we the problem? Are our gifts the problem? Or is there another problem in the way that gifts are seen in the world? The way that gifts are seen. I see so many people throughout my journey who have very beautiful perspectives and beautiful gifts. And some of them are very focused on their labels and what's wrong with them and how they need to change it. But what if it doesn't need to be changed? Right? What if some things about you don't need to be changed? It's like sometimes we can get so caught up in trying to change the things that are so beautiful about us, instead of changing the things that are maybe not so beautiful, right? And that's kind of a product of narcissistic abuse. When a narcissist feels jealous, they convince you that your gift is the problem, that you're the problem. In some weird way, they believe that if they can erase your gift from your own mind and your own self and from the world, that it means that they can be gifted too. Or that they don't have to be alone in their lack of giftedness. But we're all the same, right? They have gifts that they were labeled as something being wrong with them. They have talents and uniqueness that was labeled as something wrong with them. And this is a bigger pattern in society, the erasure of the individual. The erasure of the individual. You might be familiar with the term enmeshment. This is the erasure of the individual. When someone is enmeshed with you, your individual needs, your individual boundaries, your unique gifts are treated as a problem that needs to be fixed. You must be just like me to be safe. Does that feel familiar to you? That mindset? what I'm here to share is that you don't have to be just like others to be safe, to be beautiful, to be amazing. I'm going to share with you the narcissistic dynamics with this. Narcissists kind of relationally exist in the style of mirroring. What this means is they have a very deep need for validation. Validation in a healthy way can be like recognizing your own feelings and like being like, oh yeah, that's valid. But the narcissist validation comes from like, they need everything they think to be true. So if they react one way to something, they need you to mirror them and react in that same way and be the same as them, because that validates that their way of living is correct. And what that does is it erases your individuality. It validates the fact that they are normal. But what's actually happening is that they're seeking validation from you that they need to give themselves. Maybe their reactions are valid, maybe they're not. But the way to get that validation is not to force you to be just like them. It sounds like insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, and that doesn't produce a result. That's what narcissists do. Try to get validation from you over and over. That's where these energy vampiric dynamics come in. This over and over. And it doesn't produce the desired result. And that's where this erasure of individuality comes in. Where when you have a unique gift, narcissistic people, or maybe even non-narcissistic people, just people in general, are so kind of attached to the fact that their way of being is right and normal, and that everybody needs to be the same. Conformity. But what has conformity done for society? Right? This is the current reality of society. Conformity. Everybody needs to be the same. Everybody needs to act the same. Everybody needs to mask. But what is the result of this? Let's look at the results. There's suffering everywhere. Everybody hates their fucking jobs. So maybe conformity isn't what we need in society. Maybe the individual is something that needs to be respected in society. The individual needs your boundaries, right? You will experience this pattern if you are around narcissistic people, where they are always treating you as if you will react the same way as them. They go hoops and miles to prevent reactions from you that they would have never done, that you would have never, they will go hoops and miles to prevent reactions from you that you wouldn't even have done. I think what so many people need less of in the world is figuring out what's wrong with them. You know, many of us identify things like how we don't love ourselves and how we don't treat ourselves right. And this is one of those ways. I love myself. And that's why I treat my analysis and my crazy passions for psychology and spirituality as something to be loved and cherished and honored. I could literally think I'm overthinking and be in a constant state of trying to prevent myself from analyzing. But I realize that me analyzing is a gift that has helped me survive things that I've seen others not survive. And you have gifts like that too. You know, to love yourself is to find the things about you that people convinced you were wrong or bad, that are actually freaking beautiful, that are freaking amazing. And self-love is kind of an advanced thing, though. I'll be clear on that. You know, my journey to self-love, it took some time. It did. And I know some of you look at me and you're like, oh, she's just like a young girl. She doesn't know anything. But I'll tell you that I have been doing inner work for 6 years. For 6 years. Dedicated inner work constantly. And the reason why I've had so much success in my character development and my emotional development is because of this self-love. That I don't pathologize my own process, right? I spend hours journaling and analyzing. And those hours journaling and analyzing, some people may call that overthinking and rumination. But I call that breakthrough. I call that transformation. I call that growth. And I love it. I love it, looking for the breakthroughs. And I trust my own process. If my body feels like it needs to analyze to resolve something for hours, I do it. And I get that relief. I get that breakthrough. Because I listen to my body. Right? It's a skill called attunement. But yeah, so I love to journal. And it gives me so much breakthrough. And because I love to journal so much, and because I've had so much success with it, I made a framework for you to teach you how to journal like I do. Journaling for Insight. It's a 5-step process that guides you to generate insight and self-awareness into your life. You can get it in my description. And since you'll be one of the first buyers, I've gotten a couple sales. So if you're watching this and you've bought, I really encourage you to give me your honest feedback. And if you do buy, I'm really open to your honest feedback about it. I want to know if it helps you, where your roadblocks are, so that I can continue guiding you and improve it for you. So don't worry about hurting my feelings. Unless you're trying to hurt my feelings, I'll see it. So, but yeah, so I love you. And start seeing how beautiful you are, you know, your gifts. They're amazing. Your individuality is amazing. And just because it's socially normal to not be an individual and be like everyone else, doesn't mean that it's right.